The Raiders are off to Las Vegas. In a 31-1 vote, the NFL's owners voted to approve the team's move to Sin City.
And Trump's replacement for Obamacare has been pulled before a vote was even cast. More for you ahead on what this means for the nation's healthcare. Welcome to State of Events. I'm Michaela Walker.
And I'm Karen Cordero. Let's get to our top story. This week's political scene has been anything but calm, from brawling at a Trump rally to Capitol Hill showdown, which led to the scrapping of the American Health Care Act. Political reporter Ulani Gray joined us in the studio with this week's political wrap. Ulani?
All right, America is not looking so great after several people were arrested in Huntington Beach during a Make America Great March rally in support of President Trump this weekend. Confrontations and scuffles occurred between pro-Trump and anti-Trump supporters. 3 people were arrested, but no serious injuries were reported. The march was one of a dozen planned across the country. It was also a bumpy road on Capitol Hill. Let's take a look.
Legislators are throwing out legislation that would have repealed Obamacare. The revolt between Republican moderates and conservatives has the House of Representatives in its first legislative showdown. Conservatives wanted a more thorough overhaul, while moderates were concerned about the 24 million Americans who would be without coverage. The future of the proposed American Health Care Act may never see the light of day. The New York Times reported this could be a catalyst that forces Republicans and Democrats to have to work together. Signed, sealed, and delivered, the Trump administration is giving the green light to the Canada Keystone XL to finish the 1,700-mile pipeline that will cross over 5 U.S. states. On Friday, they approved the permit that will allow them to finish the $8 billion project. Greenpeace, one of the pipeline's most vocal opponents, said it sent a signal to the world that the U.S. is moving backwards on climate and energy. They pledged to keep fighting nonetheless. Republicans are pushing to get their Supreme Court nominee, Judge Gorsuch, in one way or another. The nominee needs 60 votes to be cleared. Republicans hold 52 seats, leaving them short, with no sign of Democrats jumping ship. The Republicans control the House, giving them the power to change the rules. They can change to a simple majority vote, basically icing the Democrats from the process. The Democrats requested a delay on voting for 1 week. Republican leaders are hoping to confirm Gorsuch before April 7th.
The reason for this push is because the congressional recess is scheduled to begin on April 7th. The goal is to have Gorsuch joining the court by late April for the final cases of the Supreme Court term, which ends in June. That's a wrap up for this jam-packed political week. I'm Ulani Gray. Back to you, Michaela, at the desk.
Thanks, Ulani. President Trump reapproved the Dakota Access Pipeline in February. This week, the first ton of oil will flow through it. State of Events, Abene Clayton has more on what the president calls a more energy-independent America.
The chairman of Standing Rock believes that this pipeline will only benefit a select few.
When it comes to these pipelines, they're going to have eminent takings. The landowners don't benefit from this crude oil passing through it. The only people that benefit are top-level executives.
President Trump maintains that the pipeline is in America's best interest.
28,000 jobs, great construction jobs.
With the Dakota Access Pipeline complete, President Trump is shifting focus to the 9,000-mile Keystone Pipeline, which is constructed by energy company TransCanada.
This is the safest and most reliable way to move our products to market.
Girling also says that this will benefit local communities.
Them tax revenues in which they can invest in schools, hospitals, roads, teachers, nurses, all of those things build the fabric of communities.
The pipeline starts in Canada and then passes through Montana, South Dakota, and Nebraska.
It's going to be an incredible pipeline, greatest technology known to man or woman.
The Bay Area is also having issues between real estate developers and the indigenous community. The Shell Mound site, which is a sacred Ohlone site, known as one of the oldest in the San Francisco Bay Area, and right now there are plans to build a 4-story high residential complex there. Now this past week, the Ohlone people sent over 800 letters in protest to the Berkeley Zoning Adjustment Board. We'll keep you updated on all future developments on our future State of Events episodes. Reporting live, I'm Abene Clayton, State of Events.
As the ongoing fight on immigration continues back and forth, Attorney General Jeff Sessions drops a huge blow on sanctuary cities that may result in cuts to their funding. Attorney Jeff Sessions addressed the media on Monday to send a warning to sanctuary cities. If they do not comply with the Department of Justice and remove illegal immigrants, they could potentially lose funding. These cuts would include Justice Department grants for state and local law enforcement.
I strongly urge our nation's states and cities and counties to consider carefully the harm they are doing to their citizens by refusing to enforce our immigration laws and to rethink these policies.
As President Trump's deportation plan continues, California legislators propose a new immigration law to protect undocumented workers against worksite raids. Recent search for undocumented immigrants in the workplace caused San Francisco's Assemblyman David Hsu to propose the new law. If passed, the Immigration Protection Act, or AB 450, will require employers to alert workers of any federal immigration raids. Failing to do so will result in $25,000 fines.
Coming up on State of Events, the Raiders' time in Oakland is coming to an end. Sports anchor Katie Welge will join us at the desk with details on the Silver and Black and their new home when we return.
Spring is here with mostly clear and sunny skies for the next few days, but that wind is picking up. Tracking your 5-day forecast after the break.
They say this is garbage. Useless. Out of style. They say that this is obsolete. Half forgotten, twice replaced, and then some. You are the re-originator, an innovator, the treasure hunter, master of uncharted territories and pioneered ideas, a voyager, a new class, new norm. There is no norm. You're the breath of a new revolution, and they say that this is secondhand.
And joining us at the desk, we have Katie Welge. We have a lot of Bay Area upsets going on right now.
Yeah, Katie, welcome, and tell us what all the buzz is about.
Yes, there are many fans that are upset, especially if you're into football, because it may be a jackpot for Vegas, but it's definitely left a black hole in many Bay Area fans' hearts. The Silver and Black are moving out of Oakland for the second time in franchise history.
It's official. The Oakland Raiders are moving to Sin City to soon be named the Las Vegas Raiders after all 32 NFL owners met Monday in Phoenix to vote for the relocation proposal and a new stadium for the team to move to Nevada. It was a 31-1 vote, except for Dolphins owner Stephen Ross, who stood solo with his vote to keep the team put. The city of Oakland has worked to put together a plan, but the NFL did not find it suitable enough, with a lot of unanswered questions, including the Oakland Athletics lease and the absence of a third-party developer. Oakland's Mayor Libby Schaaf made a last attempt to keep the team in the Bay Area by delivering a letter to the owners before the meeting, asking for one last consideration, but still spoke of her distress.
Well, this is very disappointing to us, and very disappointing to me, not just as the mayor, but as a lifelong Oaklander and Raiders fan. I am proud that we stood firm on no public money for stadiums, and we stood firm on not being forced to choose between teams when we were asked to throw our baseball team out of town for our football team.
Raiders owner Mark Davis stated that this decision is what was right for the team and that his father would be proud as it was in the best interest for the future of the franchise.
I have mixed feelings, obviously. I love Oakland. I love the fans in Oakland. And I know that there's going to be disappointment and maybe some anger. And I just hope that in the future as we play in Oakland this year that they understand that it wasn't the players, it wasn't the coaches that made this decision, but it was me that made it. And if they have anybody to talk to about it, it should be me, and I will, in the coming days, try to explain to them what went into making this difficult decision.
The Raiders secured $700 million in public financing and $200 million in maintenance fees in just 30 years, but the team will continue to play in Oakland for the upcoming season. It is undecided for 2019, but is set for the move in 2020.
Mr. Davis also stated that he will offer refunds for any season ticket holders or fans that request one. So it is unclear how the fans will show up to support the games for the upcoming season.
Yeah, it seems like there's no more teams in Oakland.
I know.
Shouldn't get to right now.
I know. Just the Niners they're the only ones. So
yeah.
Thank you, Katie. And now we'll send it to State of Events meteorologist Tessa Kleinbell with your 5-day forecast. Tessa?
Thanks, Karen. We have some dry, sunny skies for the next few days in the Bay Area, but that wind chill is going to be a factor. Let's take a look at our highs for the day. 64 in Santa Rosa, Novato, and Napa. 65 out in Concord, Fairfield, and Brentwood. 61 degrees in San Francisco, and a high of 63 degrees in Oakland. So a lot of mid to low 60s with sunshine, but as I said before, that wind's picking up and it's making it feel a lot colder. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. For the most part, we're going to stay relatively the same. Sunny with some higher clouds and breezy. Wednesday looks like we'll have our highest temperature, and then Thursday will begin to cool down. It will feel brisk all week though, so I would grab that jacket just in case. There is a wind advisory in effect all day today until 8 p.m. Expect a lot more of those throughout the work week. Of course, careful on those roads and bridges with those strong wind gusts. And looking ahead at our weekend, looks pretty beautiful, Saturday especially. I'll send it back to Karen and Michaela at the desk.
Meanwhile, in BizTech, reports have come out that Amazon's online store prices are misleading to buyers. Consumer Watchdog has filed a petition against Amazon for violating state and federal laws. Ashman Ram has the details.
Thank you, Michaela. Are you actually saving money by shopping online at Amazon? A study conducted by the nonprofit Consumer Watchdog Group says that the list prices at Amazon are bogus and misleading. Let's take a look. By offering convenience and competitive prices, Amazon has certainly changed the way consumers shop. However, the California-based Consumer Watchdog Group claims that Amazon is misleading its customers by posting inflated list prices to give the impression that the company is offering more of a discount than its competitors. John Simpson from Consumer Watchdog explains.
They're calling this a list price, and it has a line through it, suggesting that they're now selling it for $1,498 and that you save $101.
Consumer Watchdog reviewed 4,000 products and found that 40% of the list prices were higher than its competitors. Amazon has released a statement. Also in BizTech, Apple has released its long-awaited red iPhone 7 and iPad. Other products have also been debuted for the spring. Since the petition has been filed, the Attorney General has not commented if and when an investigation will take place. That's it for your BizTech today. I'm Ashman Ram. Michaela, back to you.
Thanks, Ashman. The California State University Governing Board approves tuition increase in all 23 campuses for the first time in 6 years. The Board of Trustees voted 11-8, approving a proposal that will increase undergraduate tuition by 5% this upcoming semester. According to CSU Chancellor Timothy White, the hike in tuition will help students' success. He says it will allow them to hire more faculty and open up courses for on-time graduation purposes. The $270 increase will make the yearly tuition $5,742 a year. Several students went out to protest, saying that the raise will eventually add up to making it impossible to attend college for people who already struggle to pay tuition. The CSU says those receiving financial aid will not be affected.
SF State is known to have one of the longest student strikes in U.S. history. At the forefront of the strike was the Filipino-American Collegiate Endeavor, also known as PACE.
PACE celebrated its 50-year anniversary, and State of Events reporter Anna Marie Torrea shows us the golden moment. Anna?
It may have been many years for former PACE members who attended the anniversary gala, but even with time and distance, it was a special evening for the past and present to come together and celebrate their roots, culture, and history.
Generations of PACE members came together to celebrate the organization's 50 years. The night had traditional dances which showed the Filipino spirit, and even had an appearance from Filipino comedian and SF State alumni, Rex Navarrete. But with all the celebration, members of PACE remembered why they came together.
It's just a wonderful event to see generations from earlier on in the 90s all the way to the 2000s, and seeing the younger generation take such honor and pride in a legacy that's been half a century.
Originally founded in 1967, PACE became one of the leading student organizations during the 1968 strike, one of the longest student strikes. It was during this time that PACE helped to establish the only college of ethnic studies in the United States.
We have that responsibility to continue to teach each other our truths and relevant education that isn't necessarily within our curriculum.
PACE's legacy inspires young Philams to be involved with their Filipino roots and heritage, especially with the changing social climate in the Philippines under President Rodrigo Duterte's administration.
We actually have been starting to send people to the Philippines to do community work through Kabit-Bisi Kabataan Network. And what that basically looks like is having folks really immerse themselves into these communities.
Philams will always continue to be involved with their Filipino community, whether it's here in the U.S. or back in the Philippines. We now travel to other parts of Asia. The people of Hong Kong recently elected a new leader, and she is the first female leader. But her win is causing quite a stir. We have this story and more news from around Asia here on World News.
Carrie Lam has recently been elected as the new chief executive of Hong Kong. Lam won with over 700 votes, while her other rivals, John Tsang, had over 300 votes and Wu Kuo-king had 21 votes. Lam's victory was not met with celebration, but with protests. Tsang was the more popular candidate and won the popular vote among the people, while Lam's selection by a mainly pro-China committee was seen as a sham.
The result today tells the world that the election is not a genuine one at all. It's really an appointment, in effect, by Beijing.
South Korean prosecutors will be making an arrest warrant for the ousted President Park Geun-hye. The former president was impeached earlier this month after discovering her connections with corruption scandals. Prosecutors have identified additional 13 charges, which include bribery, abuse of power, and leaking confidential information. Choi Soon-sil, a friend of Park, is also at the heart of the scandal and is accused of conspiring with her. One of Japan's iconic conveniences is getting an upgrade. Japanese vending machines are finding new ways to be more interactive with its customers through the use of their phones. By making vending machines linked to smartphones, customers gain points, which leads to a free drink. The use of smartphones eliminates the use of coins, allowing customers an option to pre-order their drinks and pick it up at their destination, or simply scan their phone at the machine. Acure, the company producing the machines, plans to release 20 units this spring around train stations in Tokyo.
And that's it for this week's top stories in world news. Tune in next week for the latest in international stories you can only find right here on State of Events. I'm Anna Marie Treya, sending it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Anna. We're going to take a quick break now, but coming up, an incredible story about one man's 93-day trip across the Atlantic Ocean. But what he made the journey on is what will really surprise you. Welcome back. Slavery still exists today, and it is through human trafficking. Every day, individuals are forced into roles such as prostitution and harsh labor jobs. While it is a national crisis, some states are affected more than others.
The top 3 states surging with human trafficking are Florida, Texas, and our own state, California, coming in first. State of Events reporter Majestique Bellamy gives us insight on recent facts and cases affecting our home state. Majestique?
Thanks, Michaela. California is taking the lead on the most human trafficking cases in the U.S., according to the nonprofit organization Polaris. Just in California, there has been about 1,300 cases reported since last year, almost double any other state in the U.S. Let's take a look at the facts and most recent cases of human trafficking in California. California's Attorney General Office reports that California is one of the largest sites for trafficking in the U.S. due to its diversity, popularity, and international borders. A nonprofit organization called Heat Watch states that 80% of trafficking in California occurs in the Bay Area, Los Angeles, and San Diego. A human trafficking sting in L.A. busted 474 people. L.A. County Sheriff Jim McDowell states the arrest came after a 3-day operation where 28 children were saved.
The operation involved more than 30 federal, state, and local agencies and task forces from across the state of California. It was conducted as a coordinated assault on one of the most heinous crimes of modern times, the exploitation for profit of another human being.
In the Bay Area, almost 500 cases of human trafficking in 2016 was reported in just San Francisco. According to a task force commissioned by Mayor Ed Lee, of the 500 victims, 122 were minors. Since 2011, 46% of all prosecuted human trafficking cases in California came from Alameda County. The Oakland Police Department in itself rescued over 200 children and arrested over 600 Johns since 2011. And just recently, 3 men were arrested in Ventura County after allegedly forcing a 17-year-old girl to prostitute in San Diego County. Police were alerted when the victim called the National Human Trafficking Hotline. Thanks to hotlines, more victims are being saved. However, according to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, trafficking will continue to flourish in environments where they will gain the most and have the lowest risk of getting caught or losing profit. For more information on how you can help, go to State of Events Facebook page. I'm Majestic Bellamy. Michaela, back to you.
A lot has happened in pop culture this week. Some YouTube controversy, a surprise celebrity visit, and a new Power Rangers movie has hit the theaters.
State of Events' Dwayne Hibbert shines a spotlight on pop culture celebrities and all things entertainment. Dwayne?
Thanks, Karen. Is it just me, or has it been an impressive and controversial week for entertainment? Beyoncé surprises a special fan, Lauren Jareggi comes out with a powerful editorial, and Power Rangers execute 21st century representation. Let's check it out in this week's serving of Entertainment Tea.
Power Rangers is morphing into the 21st century, revealing the first LGBTQ superhero. Becky G stars as the Yellow Ranger. Becky told TMZ that she thinks it's something beautiful and should have been done a long time ago. Amen to that, Becky. Fifth Harmony singer Lauren Jareggi reveals her coming out editorial. Huffington Post says her rumored ex-girlfriend Lucy Vive stars in the photo shoot as well. The girls were nervous how their families would respond and the publicity they'd get, but they still wanted to project a coming out narrative. Jordan Peele is making waves and leaving his mark. The New Yorker says the Get Out director has become the first black writer/director to earn more than $100 million at the box office with a debut feature. Beyoncé's vocals have no limit and neither does her heart. Ebony Banks is a high school senior battling cancer and idolizes Beyoncé. Hollywood Reporter says her classmates used social media to get B's attention. Ebony Banks then received a personal FaceTime from Queen Bee herself. I don't know about you guys, but I'm forever in formation. YouTube's new feature rubs the LGBTQ community the wrong way. YouTube created a new feature called the Restricted Mode. According to TechCrunch, it blocks content revolving around health, politics, and sexuality based on the user's preference. Many videos being blocked are videos by LGBTQ YouTubers. YouTube released a statement addressing the issue, but angry users still joined the hashtag YouTubeIsOver party.
YouTube apologized for the confusion once popular LGBTQ videos were getting blocked. They ended their statement by saying they're working towards a solution and that there's more to come. That's it today for your Entertainment Tea, and I hope you enjoyed. I'm Dwayne Hibbert. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Dwayne. We're going to take one more break, but when we return, we'll show you how one man's disability isn't limiting his ability to change on and off the basketball court. Stay tuned. State of Events will return in just a moment.
Chances of playing in the NFL, 1 in 1,500. Chances of becoming a pop star, 1 in 3,000. Chances of becoming a Hollywood actor, 1 in 5,000. Chances of getting into a school of your choice are better than 4 in 5. First round enrollment. It's for your family's future.
Welcome back. After a rocky stretch of the season without Kevin Durant, the Warriors look to be clicking again with the playoffs just weeks away and their all-star sharpshooter returning soon. State of Events' Matt Fowler joins us from Holloway with more on the Warriors' late season push. Matt?
Thanks. The last few weeks have been a buzz here at SF State with the Gators making the the NCAA tournament for the first time in 20 years, but across the Bay, it's the Golden State Warriors that are putting their own imprint on the history of the NBA.
His ability to do that. Arms on the kick out, play in the corner.
The Golden State Warriors are back on track. They've now won 7 in a row, with their latest victory coming against the Memphis Grizzlies last Sunday night. Klay Thompson had 31 points and dropped in 7 three-pointers as the Warriors improved to 59-14 on the season. Andre Iguodala provided the fans with some flashy plays as well.
Iguodala changes speed!
The Warriors are without star player Kevin Durant, who injured his knee on this play, but he's expected to be back sooner than later.
Any injury, because you never know how bad it's going to be. So we'll just wait and see and keep our fingers crossed.
While Steve Kerr looks composed in this interview, sometimes his emotions can get the best of him.
The Warriors are hot for the last 2 calls, and now Steve Kerr is gone. Steve Kerr is tossed out of the game.
I've never seen him this upset.
Despite the ups and downs, the Warriors are poised to get back to the promised land where they were just 2 years ago.
And the dream season is now complete. The Golden State Warriors are the 2015 NBA champions. Their first title in 40 years. And how sweet it must be for those crazy loyal Bay Area fans.
Steve Kerr will undoubtedly be the first head coach to 200 wins, and just to put that in perspective, if you won all 82 games for both seasons and swept the playoffs for both seasons, that would put you at 196. Steve Kerr already has 199. The future definitely looks bright for the Golden State Warriors. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Matt. Being the victim of a horrible crime can change your life in a negative way. Bay Area native Arthur Renowitzki is the CEO and the founder of Life Goes On Foundation, as well as the shooting guard for the Sacramento Rolling Kings.
He turned what could have been a negative situation into a positive one. Vanessa Ariola shows us how he is inspiring others.
His first love, a basketball. His new love, a brand that has inspired everyone. One since childhood, another blossomed shortly after a tragedy. Arthur Renowitzki was a victim of a shooting that changed his life forever.
The bullet hit my chest, going into my spinal cord, and I woke up a month later from a coma, and the doctor said I would never walk or talk again. So thankful to get my voice back and started a whole new journey in life after that.
Thankful to have his voice back, Arthur started the Life Goes On Foundation. He has since used that platform to inspire others and bring awareness to gun violence.
And once I got out of the hospital, I started working hard to get the awareness out there about the foundation and the cause.
Arthur has worked very hard to let his movement be known. Some of his favorite athletes like Kevin Durant and Steph Curry were seen wearing his brand.
You can find items like these, as well as others, on lgof.org. We follow Arthur as he combines his passion for the Life Goes On Foundation with his love of basketball here with the Sacramento Rolling Kings.
Basketball was always in the plan for Arthur. He continues to play now, it's just a bit of a change. He currently plays for the Sacramento Rolling Kings. It took some time to adapt from his legs to the wheelchair.
It's taken me some time to get used to it, and but the more you practice, the more you play. You know, obviously the better you get and the more comfortable you get. So, to say a few years.
A few years, but it's been well worth it. The Kings are currently ranked number 4 in the country and are headed to nationals. They've never won the ship, but all of that may change with preparation.
Take care of our bodies and our chairs, and just prep to peak at the right time and get ready to play some of the top competition in the country. So we're looking forward to it.
You can donate to the Sacramento Rolling Kings by heading to their Facebook page. In Davis, Vanessa Ariola, State of Events.
A South African man made a paddleboarding look easy as he made it across the Atlantic Ocean. Charis Burtish paddled 400 miles to raise money for children in Africa and with medical needs, food, and education. Burtish paddled through 45-mile-per-hour winds and 40-foot waves until he reached Antigua. His voyage lasted nearly 4 months, where Burtish said he never slept for more than an hour at a time. In the coming years, Burtish plans to make a documentary, write a movie, travel the world, and continue to raise money for Africa.
And that's it for today, guys, but make sure to tune in next week for State of Events.
Thanks for coming. See you guys soon.